It is. What day is today? It's Tuesday. I missed yesterday. My bad. I ain't really had nothing to talk about, so I ain't rushed to the thing. Feel like if I ain't got nothing to talk about, I shouldn't be wasting y'all time. Since I'm going live on YouTube and not using, StreamYard, it's like put people up on the panel and we just talk about anything. So, y'all just give me. Hey, y'all. Today is Tuesday. I hope we are having a great week so far. It's only the second day. If the week is going that bad on the second day, well, let's try again next week. Just let this go. Hi, y'all. Hey, everybody. Anybody who sees this, more likely will see this in the replay. It is hard for me just to sit here and be online and not talk. So I just end up rambling until people start coming in and what's the word? Engaging. So to everybody who will see this in the replay, hey, y'all. Today on the talk shows. Well, it really wasn't a day on the talk shows today. Was kind of wasn't boring. It was more or less the same thing that I normally talk about all the time. It don't change, you know what I'm saying? But I will ask this question because that was what was on Steve today. Steve was talking about I think they're both about women who are with men they think are pedophiles, child molesters, whatever you call it, whatever you want to call them. Those two are two different things. However, whatever you call the person you're supposed to love, how do you stay with that person? How do you stay with that person? That's my question. So the lady was saying that the child told her, hey, put a light. The child told her that Daddy hurt me down there. Now, Penelope's almost 3 years old, and she can articulate, but there are certain things that are, more adult in how you say things. Children say things, and you have to listen to it 1,400 times until you figure out exactly what they're saying. But then, excuse me, eventually you get it because it feeds into other stuff. But it seemed a little adult the way it was said. Um, However, as a parent, you always err on the side of the child and what the child is going through and what the child has told you. You always do that. I get that. But here's my jam. Here's my thing. One, why do you still deal with the person who your child has told you that? No, that's not the first thing. First thing is, before any investigation, before seeing who she's actually talking about, any of this, you post on Facebook and call him a pedophile publicly. Even though there's been nothing found, nobody has repeated it. She hasn't repeated it and told anybody else. Oh, excuse me. I am sorry about yawning. And you don't know 100% for sure. However, you posted this man as a pedophile. He messes with little girls. You put that on Facebook. Cool. After you do that, you then go back and have sex with him. You sleep with him in the same bed. This is the man that you calling a predator. You calling this. You calling that. Calling the third. However, you still sleeping with him. And he's sitting over there Here's the thing. Look here. Look at him. I'm not gonna say these things don't fall. They do. They children fall between the cracks. Children fall don't even fall between the killer part. Children don't even fall between the cracks. Excuse me. Parents, once children get here, children become a what's the word? What's the word I'm looking for, baby? Not your child, but your property. That's what I'm looking for. Children become property. They're not little people, but property. And sometimes parents value their comfort over their child's. Cool, 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 cool. That's all cool. But if you're gonna publicly call this man a pedophile and then you're gonna go to bed with him after that, and then he's sitting up there talking about we can work on this. This woman has told everybody that you are Chester child molester. This woman has posted it on Facebook that you are the worst of the worst of the worst. But I love her. I can't get that. That's what get me. I can't get. That's. Excuse me. I don't know why I'm yawning. Um, that's why I didn't go on yesterday, because yesterday was just a bad day. But I had something else to talk about today. I just started with that because I was just giving people a chance to come in and come out. You know, get a little something going on. Because what I want to talk about is going to be, I don't say controversial, but it's going to be polarizing in that people are very consistent and they're very judgmental about religion and their beliefs and things like that. Um, Sometimes violently so. So what I'm about to talk about, um, in the immortal words of my wife, I don't mean to hurt your feelings, but I might. And I mean, that's just the price I pay for being online, coming on here and talking to y'all. So I don't know exactly when it happened, but I'm gonna say this weekend, one of the ones who is a pastor was having altar call, and people were bringing up their tithes and offerings. And the lady brought up there, and I want to say Leilani, and I want to say the lady brought up there about 12. If I remember correctly, it was $1,236. Now she talks out again, um not churchy. Not that I don't believe in a higher power, because I do. However, I am not churchy in that your belief in your higher power and my belief in my higher power don't affect each other. Which means you believe in believe, however you worship, however you go, has no effect on me. So I live and let live. Because it could be one God, it could be 792. I don't know. But I know that if I believe in a higher power and I try to be the best person that I can be, that I'll see whatever I'm supposed to see at the end. That's how I feel about religion. I do know that as somebody with any, and I'm not a big history person, so I don't really like history, but certain things float my boat. The religion of today doesn't sound like the religion of the Bible. I'm going to just say that. And leave it at that. Because the Winans, not the Wayans, the Winans are a mega church religious dynasty. All the children sing. I think those that don't sing preach. Even the ones that do sing preach. I don't know about mom and daddy. It's a bunch of them. I don't know. But I know that it is a religious dynasty. And it is all based on religion. On music, ministry. I know that. I take issue. Here's what I'm about to say. I take issue with any church that takes in money, takes and takes and takes in money, But when it comes time to taking care of its congregation and the people, there are excuses. There's red tape. There's paperwork. There's stuff you got to fill out. There's boards you got to go to. We just can't help you with your light bill, Sister Esther. I understand they cutting the foods off, Brother Lawrence. Food stamps off. Hey, Journey. But it's a process to feed you this month. See, I take issue with that. I take issue with the pastor living in a gated community and the congregation not knowing whether or not they're gonna be able to pay their bills, or they gotta go between paying their bills and buying their food, or buying their food, paying their bills, buying their medicine, buying their food, paying their bills, paying rent, buying their medicine, while you on luxury card number 4 this year, and you still asking for these people to come out of pocket with money they don't have. And it's not enough. So the lady and her son or grandson, I want to say grandson, because she didn't look old, but she looked older, and the little boy looked young. But but a lady and her relative, her son or her grandson, went up there to altar call and give whatever she had, which was $1,000 plus $236. And the whinings in question, basically like, why you come up here with this? This ain't what I asked for. Now, I'm not saying what he said, because I don't know what he said. Because here's the thing. I hate to hear, first of all, number one, anything I give you, you should say thank you. Number one. That's just number one. That's just rude. That's just etiquette 101. I give you a gift. I give you an offering. I give you something, and you say thank you. Because let me tell you something. You can look good and have 3 cents in your wallet. So you can't go by how somebody look thinking that they won't miss $1,000. They won't miss $1,236. Please don't look at how somebody dressed and thinking they won't miss it. The church, it is for the church, but it's not. It's not. It's for the person who just told you 1,200 wasn't enough because I asked for 2,000. You supposed to bring me 2,000. Sir, what you doing with 2,000? From everybody in your mega church congregation. And if she didn't have 2,000 and she brought you what she had, what she could sacrifice to still do her part, maybe not the money you asked for, but the money she could provide. And you're going viral for all the wrong reasons. And everybody's like, well, you took it out of context. There's no context to where the first words out your mouth when somebody hands you a check or a cashier's check or a money order, a hell dollar bills, and you don't say thank you. I appreciate that, sister, whoever. Thank you for bringing a young man up the altar call, starting him off young. If you got an issue with what she got going on, take her back. What a 2,000. You don't do that shit publicly. I'm not calling out preachers because I don't want nobody to say nothing to me because I will cuss preach out. So I'm not calling you out. But I want you to understand that we see y'all. And I'm not going, I don't want to say that the overly religious are in some kind of psychosis. But there ain't no way in 4 hells. If you went to your job, let's say you went to your job, a regular place. No, because the job people don't necessarily like being at their job. You went to a birthday party, and your mama said, "Hey, everybody gonna pitch in $2,000 to get a so and so for their birthday for whatever reason. Just go with it because it's closer to a family than it would be a job." And you come in there and you like, hey, I ain't got 2,000. I got 1,200. That's all I got. I have to pay my rent is due. I'll be put out. I can't give you 2,000, but I have 1,200. And if your mama said that ain't what I asked you for, instead of saying thank you? What is the context? The context is greedy entitlement. The context is that we have put religious leaders on a pedestal that is so exorbitantly high that they can get away with shit like that. And then there are going to be people in the background talking about what's the context of the video. The context of the video is I gave you what I had, and instead of saying thank you, you berated me in front of the congregation like I gave you 15 cents out my pocket with lint on it. And I don't understand how people are still going to these churches. Let me tell y'all something. Let me tell you something. If I truly look, I believe in spirituality. I believe that shit happens for a reason. I also believe there's a higher power. There's something. But I also do the right thing because I do the right thing, not because the book, the Bible, or anybody else told me to do it. Because at the end of the day, you know what's right and what's wrong. Nobody had to really, as a child, you're directed if you direct a child to consistently do what's wrong, then that's what they're going to do. Hey, Magdalene, then that's what they're going to do. But the reality is, we know what's right and what's wrong. Even children know what's right and what's wrong. They just try to get away with stuff because they are kids. I don't need a book to tell me. It's don't be rude. Don't kill somebody. Don't cheat on my wife. Don't steal somebody else's stuff. I don't need nothing to tell me that. I know I don't want nobody to steal my stuff, so I ain't gonna steal your stuff. I know I don't want nobody else to sleep with my wife, so I ain't gonna sleep with yours. I don't need one. Now, if I want to have it in there and I want to do it, but the reality is that so many people take the Bible, bastardize it, flip it around, flip it and screw it till it meets what they want you to want. It meets their needs. And you sitting there like, well, that's not what I got from that. But we have been taught that it is okay. Excuse me. We've been taught that it is okay for a pastor of a megachurch who is a millionaire to berate somebody who didn't give them the $2,000 they asked for. What you need $2,000 for, Pastor Wayne? You don't have $2,000. You could. Where is yours? Because you are. I don't know, and I'm asking a question so somebody can tell me. Because you're a preacher, you don't have to tithe to your church. You don't have tithes and offerings. Where your money at, Pastor? I don't know. So I'm asking the question. I have seen the elderly who cannot pay for their medicine try to figure out how they're going to pay tithes and offering. I have seen churches send out letters to their older congregation talking about, well, if you don't pay your fees and your dues or whatever they call them, you won't be able. There's a lady who passed away, and because she hadn't paid her final whatever, I don't know what it's called. So before I get the line and y'all think I'm lying, I don't know what it's called, a dues, the offering, I don't know. You got to pay dues to be in church too? Damn. But anyway, she didn't pay whatever it is they said she owed, and they wouldn't bury her when she passed away. They sent a letter saying she owes so-and-so such and such to the people who are grieving their grandmama and their mom. But that's the church y'all sit up there and holler and scream about. Right now, our government is trying to turn it to a Christian nation, which is killing us because this is the same Christianity that says slavery was okay. This is the same Christianity that said it was cool to kill the firstborn. Yeah, this is the same Christianity that said what they were doing to us was ordained by God. Now, y'all do understand that. What they did to slaves. And all slavery is not the same. So, shut the hell up when people don't come in my comments talking about, well, everybody had slaves. Chattel slavery, all slavery is not the same. I'm not talking about all over the world slavery. I'm talking about my great-great-grandmother, okay? I'm not talking about some random abstract ass person that's an ancestor from well on 3 million years ago. I'm talking about my great grandmama. I'm talking about her mama. The Bible said all that was cool. Now I'm sure that ain't what the Bible said. But the people that read it and the people that sit up and have Bible study and tell you what you're supposed to feel about it, that's what they do. These are the same people that are telling you that $1,200 ain't enough. I told you how much I wanted. These are the same people that said that if I don't get X amount of millions of dollars, the Lord is going to call me home at a certain date. Now, this, I forget which one this was far. Well, it was back when they were like the Mount Rushmore mega preachers, Jerry Falwell, them, y'all know what I'm talking about. He said, I forget which one it is, said if I don't get X amount of dollars by so and so, I'm going to die. God's going to call me home. Now, when that date came and when he came and said, the Lord gave me an extension. If I'm lying, I'm flying. The Lord extended my time here on earth with y'all to give y'all enough time. Joel Osteen has church after building after building, but during the hurricanes, all of a sudden he couldn't open the doors. But he a pastor. You give him all your money. Mm-hmm. Back in the day, I forget who he was called, but he was called himself a prophet. And he used to be on TV. And he used to show off all his jewelry and in his throne room and how he had gold covered toilet seats and some shit. Somebody talking about this is what the God want for me, and y'all need to send me my money. He sounded like a pimp. Black guy. He had slick down hair. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Reverend Ike. I was gonna get it. Reverend Ike used to spend nights telling y'all to send y'all money. Because God said. What he said? What God said? Tell me what he said. Y'all ever notice the God don't never say nothing to... God don't never say nothing about homelessness or famine, children dying. You ever notice that? When somebody pops up on your Reverend Knight was a pimp, and he was. Reverend Pastor Deacon Dr. Doug Pimp, and he was. But there were people right now would tell you the reason they went to heaven is because the Reverend Knight had the God. You ever notice God don't never speak to none of the people. God don't speak to people who can exact change and help us do anything. He speaks to people. He speaks to people who get up and turn their phone on and get on TikTok talk about the Lord told me that the movie Sinners was demonic. What else was demonic? A lot of stuff. Everything on Disney is demonic. Talking to the ancestors is demonic. Us revering our ancestors like every other culture does in one fashion or another is demonic. But somebody getting up in the pulpit telling you to give your last dollar when your light's about to get cut off, when your water about to get cut off, when you ain't got nothing in your refrigerator, when you sitting up here trying to figure out how you gonna buy medicine to save your life, but a person sitting up there telling you to give your last. Ain't nothing demonic about that. Hey, Marietta. That man embarrassed that woman in front of the congregation after she gave a $1,200 offering to the church because it wasn't 2,000. Let me tell y'all something. Believe what you want to believe. Catholicism, Church of God in Christ, Buddha, Hindu, Islam. It doesn't affect me. Your belief systems and how you worship and how you calm your nerves doesn't affect me. But at some point, y'all have to look. It's just like a bad date. It's just preachers, especially mega church preachers, are sort of like every sorry ass man that ever went on Morris, Steve, Karamo, pick a talk show. Because the only thing the congregation can say is because I love him. It's not because he's done anything. And the church will do the bare minimum. And they'll do the bare minimum as publicly as possible. And then some kind of way, it's still kids starving in their congregation. It's still people who don't have anywhere to live in their congregation. It's still people who can't pay their light bill, but still work every day, all day in their congregation. And on Sunday, and on Monday nights, and on Wednesday nights, and on Friday nights when they have altar call and they pass the collection plate around, some kind of way that money never makes it to the congregation. But they also don't pay taxes, so we ain't got to worry about them paying taxes. So that and again, I say, at what point? I'm not telling you to not believe in God, Jesus, or the Bible. I'm not telling you your storefront preacher is not speaking the word of God. I'm not in his mind. I don't know. But what I am telling you is this. Is that sacrifice deserves thank you. Not admonishment. Not why nots and what happened and where the money at. Boy, if you don't go sit down somewhere, and it kills me how everybody has an excuse. Everybody got an excuse. Y'all took it out of context. He didn't mean it like that. That's not what he meant. He's a man of God. Are you sure? Are you sure? My cousin was in her, I want to say she was in her mid-20s. She's in the mid-20s. And in the military, taking care of herself. And, making a life for herself. On her own. My auntie, she passed away. And we was there, but she was doing what you do as an adult. And then all of a sudden, she wasn't. And the next thing I know, she is living in her mama's house. Since her mom passed away. She living in her mama's house with this man who is old enough to be her daddy. I'm like, okay. She grown. Now, she was over 18, so she was, like I said, she was in her mid-20s. So I didn't say nothing. But she invited me over because he was having church out the living room. Okay. Now, here's the thing. I can't fix my face. And I just kind of sitting there like, okay. And she was like, "You all right? I'm fine. I'm just listening. You try to be nice." My cousin, I'm sitting there going, why are you moving? Because here's my thing. Here. Nowadays, you asking everybody. Everybody, men are asking women what they bring to the table. What can you do for me? But at the end of the day, you old as her mama. Why are you moving into her house? Why is she not moving into yours? Why you holding church out of her living room? But I digress. I just let it play out. I didn't, because let me tell you something. I have learned as I went on and time went on, I've learned that if you tell a child, if you tell your family, if you tell your homegirl, you tell your best friend how sorry, messed up, somebody is, they want them even more. And y'all know I'm telling the truth. How many times your mama said somebody shouldn't even be your friend and they was the best person in the world until they did exactly what your mama said they was gonna do. But by then, your feelings was hurting. You over there crying in the corner. But I digress again. So I just let it go, you know. I'm like, and I went with her. I went with her, and I'm gonna tell you why I went with her. I went with her because one, I didn't have nothing else to do. I was working when I wasn't working, you know. And two, because she's my cousin. I didn't want her over there because it was something about him. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I tell y'all all the time. Girl got got the booty, got the boobs in the 7th grade. So I've been watching people lyric me for a very long time. I've been paying attention to it. And as I got older, I paid attention to it. But I also, I'm a vibes kind of dude. I'm a vibes kind of girl. You know what I'm saying? Something was off. Something wasn't quite. He had that slick preacher thing going. You know, that thing that people say they know they got a good gift of gab. Hey, brown sugar. He had that slick pimp preacher thing. You know what I'm talking about? Like I was talking about Reverend, like he had that about him. And he wasn't an attractive man. He was older. I don't know. This is back in the 80s, y'all. This is not the 80s. This is back in the early 90s. And I was like, okay. So, but then she got, as with all abusers on some level, he started separating her from her family. She didn't come around as much. Then I come to find out later on, I heard that she had gotten pregnant. And she was also going to jail for damn near her whole life. And here's why. Because she was under the spell of the preacher. And she was the good preacher wife, the good preacher girlfriend, talking about all these things, church and religion related, and how all of a sudden she couldn't, because she was in the military. She was an officer in the Air Force. It's all these things that she could not be worldly and da-da-da. I'm sitting up there going, girl. In my head, I ain't saying nothing to her. So she goes to jail. And I told her, and she's in prison, pregnant. Come to find out, he was doing stuff that he had no business doing. Plus having a whole bunch of little boys, young men around him that were doing illegal stuff and ended up using her car that ended up being used in a murder. So she gets picked up. So she can't be in the military anymore. And they're talking about her spending her a long time in jail. Now I told her that because at the time everybody was older and I didn't have any kids and I was in my early 20s. And I told her, I said, if you need me, I will take your baby till you get out. If you can't find anybody, just you know. And she's like, well, that's not, I'll just give him. I'm like, girl. And then she did hit me with the, God sent me a sign. I said, God sent you 300 signs. And you ignored all of them. Please stop. Here's my thing. Here's my thing about religion and God and church and the Bible. Stop hollering out God and Jesus when you do something wrong. And then, no. I just needed a sign. He sent you signs. I don't know exactly how the thing goes, but it's a man in the water, and first he gets a life jacket, and then he gets a life preserver, and then and each time he said, God will help me, God will help me, God will help me. It was a life jacket, a life preserver, a lifeboat, and then a boat came by. And each time he said, no, go on, God got me. And he ended up dying. And he got up there and he said, God, why did you forsake me? Or why didn't you save me? He said, I sent you a lifeboat. He said, I sent you 4 things. And you turned them all away. I don't know exactly how it go. But I said, he sent you signs and you ignored every last one of them. Because of somebody who wasn't giving you signs, somebody who was lying on the Lord's name. Oh, hold on. I can't see that. Hold on. I don't want to mess your name up because I was about to mess it up. Timothy, hey. Thank you. Because that whiners thing, I don't know if y'all saw it. I saw it on TikTok, but I'm sure it's on other places. He is the pastor of a mega church. Mega churches irk me because you have multi-million-dollar estates. These they have mansions. Y'all remember the mega church preacher that had the show on TV with the mansions and the Rolls Royces and the compounds, but your whole congregation sitting up there trying to figure out how they gonna eat. Hold on. A car ride, a raft, a boat, a helicopter, he drowned on the roof. That's funny. But still, you holler about the signs and God gonna save me, but when he send you stuff, and if you don't like the sign, you can ignore it. But you can still blame. I'm using God as an example, but the reality is that you see the sign. You see them. They sent you. Oh, not just this. Everything. Everything. I was talking when I first got on about the lady who slept with the man who she said molested her child after she'd have called him a pedophile on Facebook. But you slept with him. You still sleeping with him. And his stupid, goofy ass is still sitting up there in her face talking about, I think we can make it work. Do you? And I want somebody to tell me. I want somebody to tell me other than me. If the person that you're living with, the person that you're in love with, calls you a pedophile, puts it online, sneaks asleep with you, do you trust them? You ain't got no good ass reason to why you think I messed with that baby. None. Other than you said that's what she said. But you can't back it up. Ain't nobody there because you know, Steve, it's always a auntie, a mama, or somebody else who said they heard it. But when they find out he didn't tell a lie, and you can't take a lie to take the test because you high, so we can't see whether or not you made it up. Do you sit up there? How long do you sit up there and you get the signs? How many times does he have to not come home? How many times do you go to your bank account app and it's zero before you realize that maybe she got a problem? How many signs do you need? My cousin ignored every single one of them until she got pregnant. And then she pregnant in jail. Because somebody used her car. And she don't want to snitch. Because she don't want to tell. How many signs do you need? Every single Evil Lives Here. Every single episode of Evil Lives Here. It has a little thing. You know when they put the little what's the thing called? When they put the little words on the screen, it has a little everything was going fine, but there were signs. Every single episode of Evil Lives Here, there was a sign. Why don't nobody pay attention to the signs? How often do you have to walk into church and feel like you ain't wearing enough cologne? Your watch ain't expensive enough. Your shoes ain't nice enough. Your clothes didn't cost enough. How many times do you have to go into church and count out in your wallet to see if you got enough money to sit on a pew? How many times do you need help and you can't even go to the church to where you gave your last? How many times do you get you could do better or that's not what I asked for as opposed to a thank you? We appreciate it. How many signs is enough signs? I'm just wondering. Like with the Evil Lives Here thing. Like with them. It's one that pisses me off so bad. We was talking about on TikTok. I found my TikTok people. It pissed me off so bad I didn't know what to do. First of all, my daddy can't set me up with nobody. I don't trust you. Because one, you're going to pick somebody like you. Two, you would think That if my father picked him out, he wouldn't hurt me. He wouldn't have, any issues in his past. My daddy would make sure I'm good. That's my thinking. You know what I'm saying? And there's two of them on Evil Lives. Both of them are black girls. Both of them got set up by their daddy. But the one that pisses me off the most is the one where she left him. But I thought I could fix him. I thought because maybe he'd been in jail, he needed me to be better. But the signs was there. Right up until the time he killed all four of her children and almost killed her. And then sat in the police station like, yeah, I did it. I mean, how many more signs do we need? I'm not telling you not to go to church. If you have a church home and it fulfills your needs, whatever you need from church, because everybody needs a different. That's another thing that pisses me off about church. Everybody needs a different. Everybody's spirituality needs, everybody's relationship with God and the church and the Bible is different, and everybody gets something different from it. You go to three different people who say they teach Bible study, and none of them teach alike. None of them teach the same passage alike. Because they're gonna say, "Well, this is what I got from it. Well, this is what I got from it. Well, both of y'all wrong. This is what I got." The reality is they're not wrong. Whenever you hear somebody speak about the Bible, you hear about it as if it was absolutely every verse, every edition was written by the Lord Himself with the heavenly pencil. When in reality, most of these Bibles that we see now are written, rewritten, and written again. And if you notice, which most people don't, because they look at it like it is infallible, if you notice that most of the tomes are the same, they're just written for different religious aspects. But the reality is that everybody gets something different from the Lord, from whatever church, whatever spirituality you believe in. But there has to be a point when you're like, hey, it's not the religion. I'm not talking about the religion. I'm talking about the people. The religion itself is not the problem. Christianity itself is not the problem. Catholicism, Episcopal, I don't know, any Christian religions, any other monotheistic religions, that means one deity. Polytheistic means multiple deities. Everybody gets something different. It's not the religion itself. It is the people who practice it. Because if y'all don't know by now, is that there'll always be somebody who takes advantage of a situation. And what's an easier situation to take advantage of than religion? Because it is so diverse, and because people become damn near obsessed with it. It's easy for users. It's easy for takers. It's easy for con men to come in and say, "I'm the pastor of the three crosses on the mountain with the olive branch on fire church." And somebody will sit up there and say, "Thank you, Lord. Take your time, Jesus." Jesus is not up there. This is some man who could read a little bit better than you, who decided this pastor said this, and you was like, "You know what? Yes, sir, pastor." That's just what it is. It is decades upon millennia of people who use other people's faith against them. And they still doing it. And if you don't think somebody who lives in a multi-million-dollar mansion on a multi-million-dollar compound that is a legacy in a certain thing is 100% above the board, you are retarded. I didn't mean to say that. You a little slow. I didn't mean to say that. I meant to say all of that. But in my head. You sit up there and think that this man is going to come out of his pocket for y'all? When he couldn't even tell that lady thank you for $1,200, $1,200. What could I do with $1,200? All my bills for the next month will be paid, and I'll still be broke. $1,200 at one time. That's a lot of money. That may not be a lot of money for everybody, but it's a lot of money for a lot of us, especially in this economy. And now with it looking like they are no longer, that if you get receive SNAP benefits, that you're not going to get them in November, and that's Thanksgiving and Christmas. A lot of times November and December are the only months where people have big Sunday dinners like we used to have all the time. We have them on Christmas and Thanksgiving. We save up for that, and everybody's making a joke about it. But the reality is that we've allowed religion, which should have nothing to do with government, which should have nothing to do with all of us as a whole, and it is killing us. They keep talking about Democrats, Republicans. That's not it. It's not that. It's just that people who need assistance is considered not as important. And it says, even if people try to save up what's already on the car may not work, period. The reality is that when we woke up the day, what was it, November 5th, and he was the president, everything was going to change. The only thing we can hope is that we can hang on until it changes back. Yes, it's on purpose. The reality is that the people who voted, and I'm going to say this, and it's not controversial, it just is what it is. People that voted for Trump thought that the things that he did would only affect black and brown people. He thought the people, the farmers who voted, the naturalized citizens whose parents or grandparents are immigrants, all the um, poor and lower middle class white people who thought that all that stuff was not going to affect them. And this is what you got. It's not just about the color of your skin, it's about the color of your money. And the fact that you don't have any. It's the fact that everybody that voted for him thought that it was going to be black people having a hard time. But we've been living through this hard time, so okay. The brown people who also voted for him thought that they were going to be special. The white people thought, no, our benefits will still be on there. Our health care will be okay. Our farms will be okay. They thought so wrong, especially here in the red state of Oklahoma. They finna be so absolutely. And the killing part about it is they always, let's break it down to red states and blue states. Blue states take care of red states. Always have, always will. It's been going on. Because at the end of the day, when it do break it down to that particular, just that basic Democrat, Republican, red or blue, the reality is that when we're in situations where our government is Democrat led, we don't have the issues we have. That being said, they like the overt racism. They like the fact that Nazis and Proud Boys and Christian nationalists could walk around the streets with tiki torches they bought from Home Depot, and that's crazy. Food banks are already empty. They thought that it was okay. They just passed the lynching bill and it was not unanimous. Let me say that again. They just passed a bill making lynching a hate crime and illegal not too long ago. And it wasn't unanimous. I started this off talking about I forget which Winans it is. Wine, whatever. Okay, Winans and Wayans. I forget which Winan it is. Whichever one is the preacher Wayne. I think they all preachers, but that one they talking about. This one. I forget which one it is. I started off with that, but the reality is that $1,200 is somebody's rent. $1,200 is somebody's car note, light bill,
That's a nice
cell phone bill. $1,200 is somebody's whole month. And for people on assistance, people like me on disability, my money is gone. I pay my bills, my money is gone. And I'm still not paying all of them. I'm moving around and making it so some get paid all the time so that we don't go without. But the reality is that I have help. I'm not by myself. But there are millions of people who are alone. Oh, it's Marvin. There are millions of people who are doing it alone. And $1,200 is different between life and death. And the reality is, and what people fail to realize, is that damn near everybody who is not independently wealthy is one bad decision away from being at a food bank, one bad decision away from calling to your church to see if y'all can help me with my light bill, one bad month away from not having nowhere to live at. Most people live paycheck to paycheck. Most people, if um if they were to have a health scare and they had to take off work, most people don't have what's the word? What's the stuff called, baby? What's the stuff called, baby?
What's that noise?
Thunder. What's the stuff called, baby?
What?
Healthcare.
Huh?
Leave. That's what I'm trying to say. Most people don't have leave to where they can take and they get paid to not be at work. Shoot, $1,200 could pay this month and next month bills, and we wouldn't eat though. But bills paid, absolutely. But you couldn't tell her, like, what's pissing me off. I think, let me tell y'all what's pissing me off also. You couldn't say thank you. The fact that he and fixed his lips to start talking shit as soon as she didn't give $2,000 pissed me off, because you can't say thank you for what you've given me. I know you gave it from your heart, and I know that you gave all you could give. Instead, you gonna go in front. Here's the thing. His disrespect was loud. And she just standing there. Now, I don't say everybody should do like I do, because I know that I am the crash out option for most of these things. He told her she couldn't get a blessing from him. Sir, you have no. First of all, I wish the hell. Look him. Hold on. I didn't even hear that boy. First of all, let me tell y'all a little something. In this month that is all things spooky, ooky, and dooky, let me let y'all in on a little secret. I can almost guarantee, I'm not 100% certain, but with almost 100% certainty, that not now mega preacher can save y'all from a vampire. And if you know what I'm talking about, y'all know what I'm talking about. They don't believe in God. They believe in what God can give them. They saw a way to make money, and they did it. And they saw a way to make money off of people who got good enough sense to sit down somewhere and say, no, I don't have $1,200 for you. I don't have $20 for you, rebel. Yeah, they're giving $2,000 to receive a dope. Blessing from what? What are you going to bless me with? Poverty? Homelessness? Hunger? What you going to bless me with? Because you're not going to come to my house and make sure my lights stay on. You can barely get them to give you money for the children. What you going to bless me with? A call in the middle of the night talking about you need to come over so you can bless me? Don't nobody want your little stinking blessings. I said what I said. Now this part I'm about to, let me tell y'all something. As somebody who was raised in the Catholic Church, and who has seen every cross. Hold on. Hold on. Guess 4,000. Nah, I keep my little 3,000 to deal with it. Thank you. As somebody who was raised on the pomp and circumstance that is Catholicism. No, you're not getting no. What blessing? This man takes your money and doesn't say thank you. And he gonna bless you with what? Prosperity. He already took that away. Cause this is not. And I'm telling y'all, this ain't just once in. This is just what so happened. Somebody recorded and posted online. Now y'all think this is new. This ain't new. It's just that we got social media. We got TikTok. We got Facebook. We got Instagram, and people always got their damn phone out. You think this is the first time he done embarrassed and degraded somebody because they didn't get the money that he wanted? Who are you? That's what I don't understand. I need to understand. Here's what I don't understand. Who the hell are these people? And who the hell that made them think that they was the people they are? Preachers are the reason I left church. Preachers and the women that's in there with them. And I'm going to tell you why. Because in the churches that I went to, the preachers were always either doing, it was always not preacher stuff. Always. The pastor that had the boyfriend but kept his wife knocked up. Oh, it's reconnecting. Now what it say? She's still talking on your screen, Rico. It's frozen. Am I still frozen?
Hold on. You good?
Oh, okay. I don't know. I did something. It reconnected. My bad. We back. Sorry about that, y'all. Back to what I was saying.
Oh,
I will not be stopped. Back to what I was saying.
you was repeating.
My bad. I didn't know I was
You was
repeating.
scratching.
But I said what I said. Only in a church can somebody tell you to give your last. Now, we ain't going to give you nothing for that. You might get a blessing, maybe. And for $25 extra, we'll throw in some of this olive oil from Walmart that we blessed a little bit. And maybe for $30, we give you this cloth you can throw around your shoulders when you're praying. Where everything costs something. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to. You're not blessing me. You're blessing yourself. And here's what get me. What get me, for real, y'all. All jokes aside. Everybody talk about dying and going to heaven and going to hell and da 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 da. I bet we won't see not one pastor that sat up here and preached fire and brimstone. And they gave people a bad. Not one of them in heaven. They right now looking up trying to figure out what they did wrong. Lying to the people. That's what you did wrong. I don't know. But that pissed me off. It really did. It really, really did. That lady got up there in her little clean white shirt and her little boy standing next to her. And they looked like they was about to do their big one. And here come Big Marvin Wines with his, I don't know what he is. He's a pastor, preacher, reverend. I don't know. I don't know the difference. Somebody told me there was only one. I don't know who said it. Somebody told me there's only one reverend man. He don't like to be called reverend because there's only one reverend man, and that was Jesus. I try to stay away from calling it. It hit me the way he said it. It's like he actually might have read the Bible one time. Instead of just remembering certain, I firmly believe that they remember certain passages so they can holler out passages on their on Sunday so it make them feel like they doing a whole lot of religious stuff. I really do. Excuse me. She up there and she's giving what she got, and instead of thank you, we appreciate it. It'll go to a good cause. This ain't what I asked for. How you gonna charge somebody for blessing in a church? This is like charging for holy water when you go into, you gotta do the sign of the cross when you go into church. If you're Catholic, that's like instead of having like the little thing you stick your finger in the holy water, they got a little thing you gotta press it. You gotta get 25 cents for the holy water so you can bless yourself. That's what that's like. How you gonna sit up here and charge me for a blessing? The fuck? I just. And the killing part is that people believe, like I was talking about, the evil live here. The two that I was talking about, the daddies was pastors. Was the daddies was pastors. Knew that the men had been in prison. Knew they'd been in prison for killing somebody, ex-partner or somebody. And the one daddy was talking about, well, he served his sentence. He's a changed man. And you gave your daughter to him? Do we really? Man. I don't get it. I can't. I be want to. Yeah, but that really, see, yesterday I ain't had nothing to talk about. So that's why I ain't come on yesterday. That's why. Baby said, why you ain't come on? I ain't nothing to talk about. And I don't like coming to y'all with nothing. I mean, because we can pick the conversation up as we go along. But I don't like coming to y'all with nothing. I need to have something that's biting my ass. Something that's making my booty itch. So that I can also bring it to y'all and talk it out so the itching will stop. Y'all are like my Benadryl. Just for those times. But if church is what you do you. If that is a place that you find solace and peace, and you need the physical building, and you need the pastor, and you need the whole 9 yards, do you. Whatever satisfies your spirit and your soul. But don't think you can't go to another church to get that. I don't want to be at a church where I got to buy my blessing, because that don't sound like a blessing. It sounds like a scam. Church is about community. Coming together. It's about saying thank you and please. It's not about charging for blessings. And if you don't give me all the money I asked for, then you can't be blessed. I don't know. I don't know what you get out of it. I mean, I know what you get out of it. You get money, and you get prestige, and you get fame. Hey, if you like it, I love it. But back to my other question. Again, I skip around. Follow me, follow me, follow me, follow me, follow me. To all the ladies, to all the parents, not the ladies, to all the parents, do you still keep a relationship with someone your child has accused of doing anything to them, whether it's physically, sexually, mentally? Do you stay with the person? Do you go back with the person even if you found out maybe it didn't happen that way? It's these questions because I feel like if I can't be comfortable with someone around my kid, I can't be comfortable with them. And regardless how long we've been together, or whether or not it found out that it was unfounded, something about you, my kid doesn't like enough to make this lie. Y'all get what I'm saying? Because I don't know whether it was, what day it was, but, children do lie. They do. Adults lie. Everybody lie. But children who attack their parents. Don't just, not all of them, just don't attack their parents for no reason. So what got me today is that most children aren't acting out for no reason. So do you stay with that person? What do you do? My thing is, you err on the side of caution. Once my child is grown and old and out of the building, maybe. But while my child is a child and still in my care and I'm taking care of him, I mean, there's got to be somebody else out there for you. It's a reason. Like I said, with the one I was talking about with the preacher daddy and the evil lives here. Her daughter could not. It was something about the man, and her daughter was saying it. But her daughter also wrote down in her diary saying, "Mama's not going to pay me any attention because she loves him, and she doesn't pay attention to what he does." Your children should not be saying that about you. That my parent is not going to pay me any attention because their partner is more important than I am. Just saying. How often, I mean, do we stay? I don't think so. I just. All right, y'all. I've been on here an hour. It's 9 o'clock. I'm going to get off. I came kind of late, but I had to get this out. You know what? Everybody needs peace and solace in their life. Everybody needs a place for their spirit to go. So I don't knock religion. I don't even knock the people that are truly called for it. But the people that use it as a weapon against other people, they're the worst kind of people. You don't buy blessings. I'm just saying. You don't buy them. You don't pay for them. You don't tithe them. You don't, none of that. Okay? Be mindful. And be yourself. Somebody go. Give y'all something to think about. I'll be back tomorrow. I'm sure something will hit me again. It always does. So make sure y'all hit that like, comment, share, subscribe. Hit that notification bell so that every time we drop a video go live, you guys can join us. Thank you so much, everybody who came through today. I really appreciate it. Sorry about the glitch in the system. Maybe I shouldn't have been talking about religion. It is all things spooky this month. Thank you, Journey on the Go. I appreciate all of y'all. Thank you so much. I'm going to always say it every time. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you. Y'all have a great night. I love you guys. I love you, Mom Squad. And I will see y'all tomorrow. Y'all hit me in the comments and tell me what's a good time to go. Because maybe this was too late, but other time be too early. Maybe I should do it during the day. We'll figure it out. All right. I'll see you guys later. Bye, y'all.